The town of Korcula is quite simply for me one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to, and it's definitely one of the top attractions in Croatia. Continuing my series of 5 things I love about Croatia and different destinations after 22 years of living here, and here's what I think that makes the town of Korcula so special. Firstly, the design and layout of the old town. You come to the old town, which is quite compact, and it has a beautifully shady, tree-lined coastal walkway which you can walk around, and the views are fantastic. You notice that all the little alleys going into the town itself, into the centre, that all go towards one main square and one central street. But what's hard to appreciate from the ground is, if you look from above, it has been so designed to look in the shape of a herringbone, and this is because they're using the buildings to both protect and take advantage of the natural winds. So on one side you have the northern borough, which is this very, very biting wind, and the design of the streets is there to protect it. And on the other side you have the maestral, which is a much more gentle wind, and this helps with circulation of the air in the old town. And I can honestly say that even in peak season, in the big heat, I've never ever felt really hot in the old town of Korcula, because this gentle breeze coming in is amazing. And sitting on the terrace of Lich Demitri restaurant, which we'll talk about in a minute, just having that gentle breeze coming in off the sea is really one of the highlights of my time in Croatia. The second thing I would say that I really love about Korcula Town, and I really recommend it even though it's an early start, is sunrise. Get up at 6 o'clock, and I know it's early, but just to be alone walking along that coastal walkway is absolutely delightful. You're alone with nature, with this beautiful historic town, with the sunrise, with the birds, the lapping of the waves, the rustling of the wind in the trees. It really is a magical, magical way to start the day. I recommend you do it at least one time. The third thing I really like about Korcula, and I'm not aware of any other town apart from maybe Starigrad that does it even remotely as well, is the fierce pride they have in their own traditional produce and natural products. You're not very long in Korcula Town before you know that this is an island of wine, particularly of Poship and Gurk, the 2 white varieties that make the island famous, as well as olive oil. But also you have a lot of artisans who are celebrated, and so if you go into the old town shops, you really will only find traditional local products, and it gives a really, really nice first welcome to the town, and it's great to see a local community supporting its own producers and artisans. Number 4, carrying on from that a little bit I guess, is the traditions and culture that manifests itself in every aspect of Korčulan society. And one of the highlights of course is the world famous Mareshka sword dancers, who perform regularly in the season, and just seeing your waiter at lunch later in the evening dressed up and dancing this fantastic sword dance is incredible. But also you have an incredible wealth of culture. Come in early September for the Korcula Baroque Festival, and you'll find some of the world's most famous Baroque musicians coming into Korcula, and it really is a fantastic event, and again, just a sign of a small town which really has got its culture and its focus on the right things in life. And then finally, I can't possibly mention Korcula without mentioning the reason I first came and the reason I really, really like to come again, and that is the wonderful, wonderful Lich Demitri Palace, which is a boutique 5-star hotel, the first 5-star hotel on a Dalmatian island, which has really been the driving force of all the positive increase in quality in the old town. And the hotel itself is about 10 rooms, I think. They're all based on the Marco Polo Silk Road, so you can stay in your Venetian suite, or there's one for Ceylon, there's another for China, Arabia, and so on like that. They're all exquisitely done. The hotel is amazing, as is the food, and it was also the first Michelin star restaurant on a Croatian island as well. And there is nothing really better than sitting on the terrace with the owner, Michael, who's become a dear friend. He actually invited me to Korcula for the first time about 12 years ago now. That was my first visit. And just having that breeze coming off and just watching the world go by, it's a truly, truly, truly magical place to be. And they've also opened another restaurant just down the road called LD Garden, which is also extremely good and well worth a try. But, you know, it's a wonderful community. It's full of great food, great people, great wine, lots of arts, and beaches, of course. You can go swimming, and just a wonderful, wonderful place to be. And if you haven't been, I highly recommend it. And my fun fact about the town of Korcula: it's the only town on an island in Croatia where kids come from the mainland to high school every day. So the kids in Orebić, where there is no high school, they come across on the ferry each morning to Korcula. And what a wonderful way to start the day, like taking the ferry coming into Korcula Town. Magnificent.